Hello and welcome back everyone to another Challenge All-Stars 4 player previews, breakdown, discussion, and predictions video. We're making our way through the entire All-Stars 4 cast in alphabetical order, 5 players each, where in this video we will be specifically discussing Jasmine, Jay, Cam, Kefla, and Laurel. So without further ado, let's jump in, starting with Jasmine is someone who hasn't had great success or really any success on the challenge. Now, don't get me wrong, Jasmine has had some iconic arguments and is a very entertaining person. But when it comes to being a contender, let's just say Jasmine won't be seen as a threat to win the game, or daily challenges, or eliminations. Jasmine has played an All-Stars season before, and in All-Stars 2, she went pretty deep in the season to episode 8. Some players she's played with on All-Stars 2 were Derek, Janelle, Ryan, Steve, Tina, and Ayana. Is she friends with all of these people? Maybe. Probably not Ayana, who she argued with on All-Stars 2. She's also played with Laurel, Cara, Brandon, Leroy, and Rachel on previous seasons. Is she close with any of them? Maybe. The only for sure person who I know is in Jasmine's corner is Derek, since they were both on the Real World Cancun season together. To be honest, when it comes to Jasmine, this is less about numbers for me when it comes to researching Jasmine, and more of can she win to definitively stay out of possibly being sent into eliminations. Because even with friends, they can turn on you and want to go either up against you in eliminations or send you in against another friend who is going into an elimination. Because Jasmine isn't seen as a threat. So even if she gets way deep into the season, she needs to win something to ensure herself not to go into elimination. Jasmine has only won one elimination in her challenge career. And really, most of the work that was done in that elimination was Jonna figuring out a puzzle and Jasmine helping out, as her and Jonna won in a puzzle elimination against Sarah. I have very little faith in Jasmine making a deep run on this season. Her competition is the toughest it's ever been in her challenge career, which if you're looking at her challenge career stats on paper, they are already very underwhelming. I have Jasmine at the bottom of my rankings coming into this season. Next up is Jay Mitchell, aka Jay Gotti. And I'll be honest, when I say I never thought we'd ever see him back on the challenge, but Jay is coming into All-Stars 4 with very little to go off of, as he only did one season. He was partnered up with Jenna in season 26. Both had separate showmances on that season. Jenna had Zach, and Jay was in a showmance with Jonna. Jenna and Jay were able to win a trivia challenge. They never saw an elimination and made the final, but was DQ'd for not being able to, quote, drink the drink. Now Jay is looking much stronger than he did the last time we saw him, which was in 2015, 9 years ago. Doing some research, it looks like Jay became a firefighter, and he seems to be more serious about wanting redemption for how season 26 ended. I found a post that he wrote on Facebook where he said, "Not finishing the final of the challenge was the best thing that ever happened to me. That was the first and last time in my life that I did not finish something I started. Because of that moment and how much I hate what happened, I am reminded of it every time I come across something tough. Every time I feel like I can't go any further, I think back to that moment and how crappy it felt not to finish, and it causes me to go into some other world and pull the willpower and strength to finish. It was a blessing in disguise and has already benefited me in my journey. I hope to get back and prove myself to everyone who doubts me, but I am glad things turned out the way they did because it made me a much stronger person." After reading this post, I truly believe Jay wants to prove to himself and everyone that he is stronger and matured in a lot of ways, but also in saying that there are still some major questions surrounding him. Who does he have on his side when it comes to numbers? And how will he be able to handle the pressures of an elimination? Jay isn't the biggest, and I can see him being tested early in the season with being sent into an elimination. Jay, I have in the lower part of my rankings. I personally will root for him, but I wouldn't put my hopes very high for him. Speaking of my hopes being high, I am so excited that Cam is back on the challenge. Seeing Cam in all the promos has me so ready for this season. She's coming into the season being in a power couple with her and Leroy. Coming in with a built-in number 1 from the get-go can be beneficial, but it can also possibly make you a target. But who's gonna go after Cam? She's coming in as the youngest competitor, currently under 30, which I find is a very big advantage when it comes to All-Stars. Cam throughout her challenge career has shown to be strong physically, mentally, strategically, and politically. Cam has an outstanding elimination record of 8-2. She's been to 3 finals where in her last final appearance, she got 2nd place in double agents alongside Corey. Cam is a player you can't sleep on or underestimate. She's the full package and you know she's going to have Killer Cam activated from day 1. This cast is stacked, especially on the women's side, but I have confidence in Cam and Leroy that they can go the distance. I have Cam in the top echelon of my All-Star 4 rankings. She can win against anyone in multiple different ways, and I'm believing Cam will make a deep season run and get to the finals. We'll get back to the video very soon. I first wanted to take some time to say thank you so much for watching this video. But if you would like to support me and the channel further, you can go over to patreon.com/angelcakevids. Over at Patreon, there is a ton of exclusive content, ranging from exit interviews, one-on-one interviews, weekly live streams, premiere challenge content, commentary videos, watch parties, access to challenge fantasy games, and much more. So if you like the content that I'm creating and would like more of it, then please consider checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you again for watching and supporting the channel, and now back to the video. Next up we have Kefla, who is finally back on the challenge. This man is a true challenge OG, not having competed on the challenge since season 2, Real World vs. Road Rules Challenge. Kefla and his Road Rules team on the season won, and he was ready to move on. Now, that wasn't the last time we saw Kefla on the challenge. He did make a cameo on season 3, the Challenge 2000, for one daily challenge. Looking at Kefla's cast photo and the promo, he is looking jacked. He looks bigger than ever. This man is huge. In one point of the trailer, it looks like he's in an elimination and about to pick somebody up from the shoulder through his back end. I think Kefla can toss just about any of the men clear across the elimination ring. I don't know much else of Kefla's strength outside of physicality. Last time he competed on the challenge, it was a completely different game and show. Back in season 2, it was a team-based game with no eliminations. The challenges they would do on that season were like talent shows, bed races, and stealing teddy bears from the other team. Even with all those question marks, I still think Kefla will come in ready to make his mark on the game. I have Kefla higher up in my rankings for the season. I trust he can make connections, do well in challenges and eliminations to go far on the season. Do I need to give why I think Laurel will do well on All-Stars 4? Fine, I will. Laurel is a strong competitor, leans more on her strength, but we've seen her wit in challenges and puzzle skills come in clutch in certain eliminations. True, her early challenge career was way better than what we have seen recently on her challenge seasons. The way her challenge career started off, she went to 4 consecutive finals, finishing no lower than 2nd place until she was able to get a win in free agents. She started her challenge career on a 9 elimination win streak. But since winning free agents, Laurel has gone 2-3 in eliminations. 2-4 if you count her mercenary loss in season 39. And she has failed to make the finals since winning free agents. She hasn't had her best showing in recent seasons, but Laurel the competitor is still in her. And I think we'll see some of the older Laurel on this All-Stars 4 season. We see a little bit of the old Laurel in the trailer yelling at Cara for what she says about Nicole. Speaking of whom, I think if anyone screws up Laurel's game in All-Stars, it will be Nicole. They have a long history with one another stemming back to Invasion of the Champions, then X on the Beach Peak of Love, and now it looks to be All-Stars 4. I will say that Laurel almost made the final in season 29, whom both Laurel and Nicole were both on that season. After that, Laurel hasn't made it past episode 6 of any other season. I trust in Laurel to make it far this season. coming with numbers and friends, some rivals, but really, how can anyone doubt Laurel if she's on a season? I have Laurel up at the top of my rankings next to Kara and Cam. But that is it for this installment of the Challenge All-Stars 4 player previews, discussion, breakdowns, and predictions video part 3. What do you think about these 5 players? Do you agree with my assessment or do you disagree? How do you think they will fare compared to each other? As well as how do you think they're going to do overall in the season compared to the rest of the cast? Let me know down in the comment section below. I want to hear what you have to say. As well as I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge All-Stars 4 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.